Alright guys, this is vlog number 3. Alright, so this one's going to be titled The Battle with Alcoholism. As I said in previous videos, I am a recovering alcoholic. I have been sober since October 7th, 2016. Well, I drank every day from when I was probably 18 years old till about 22. I stopped drinking last year on October 7th. So, before that I was on and off battling with it. But pretty much every day since like senior year of high school. So, my reason for drinking, in my opinion, I went to college for a semester. I went to Western New England University. I started drinking a little bit here and there. You know, it's college, whatever. But when I came home, I didn't go back to finish the year for that semester, and I just started working full time. Now, working full time, it was a lot easier to drink because going to work is a lot easier than going to school. So I just started drinking every day, just having a good time, you know. So in college I played football, as a lot of people know. I played football in high school. I played football since I was, 7 years old. So football is a big part of my life. So I went from playing football every day and that being the only thing I cared about, I looked at it like I was in school because I wanted to play football. So I was up to drinking a handle a day, 1.75 liters of rum. That was my drink. I mean, it's a pirate's life for me, so that's how I lived. Yeah, a handle a day. So I would start in the morning, right when I wake up, go vomit. Then I would drink a little bit just so I can stable myself enough to drive to work. Then I would drive home, or work all day, get to lunch, drink a little bit at lunch just to keep the food down. Come home, get wasted, pass out, do it all again the next day, and then that was every day. So I lost, all sight. I was ultimately feeling sorry for myself because I couldn't play football anymore. So it was like a big chunk of what I thought was my reason for being was gone. So getting past that, I didn't go through this for nothing. What I'm looking at this is a way to channel what I've been through into something more constructive. So sharing that with people, hopefully inspiring people that, there is people that have been through it, that have made it through and are still sober. And it does get easier. So, on to my strategy for staying sober. My strategy for staying sober is don't drink. Good night. No, but seriously, my strategy is, ultimately I know I can't drink anymore. Guided meditations. So you just pop it in YouTube, guided meditation, and I usually just lay down on the floor, lay down on my bed, and just go through it that way. It helps me clear my head if I'm really feeling like I had a tough day and I want to drink. Another thing that I don't like to do is a lot of people, that I still hang out with, go to bars and stuff like that. I don't go to bars. It's pretty simple. There's an old saying, if you hang out in a barber shop long enough, you're gonna get a haircut. So that's a big part of why I don't go to bars. I try not to put myself in harm's way. because it just doesn't make sense. Obviously, I'd like to hang out with my friends, but you gotta weigh that with if you want to die or not. So I truly fear drinking now. I truly do. Um, it terrifies me to drink if I was going to drink. Just the thought of it. So the reason I got into deep shit is I'm super competitive. I want to be the best at everything. So naturally, I had to drink more than everybody else. It went from being able to drink the most to I have to drink just to feel normal. So a couple years went by, fast forward a little bit, and my drinking was out of control, and I knew, when I didn't drink, I felt funky, so I knew it was withdrawal. I would shake, I would get cold sweats and vomiting and things like that. It was really just a nightmare living through it because it hurt to drink and it was worse not to drink. So what I what happened early on, probably not early on, but a couple years in, I was withdrawing and I was stiff as a board and I was shaking on my couch at my parents' house. And my brother Josh walked in and I was all messed up in the head. I was, in the thick of it. So I was messed up and my brother Josh walked in and he saw me and my mother turned to him and said, "Go in the other room, go in the other room." And I said, "No, I don't want him to go in the other room. I want him to watch this and see what this looks like so you never have to experience it for yourself." So I guess I was just trying to, scare him into being not abusing alcohol like I did. So fast forward probably about a year and a half later, I was back on one of my drinking stints, and I was drinking for this stint was probably about a year and a half straight. And I finally said, "All right, you know what? I gotta stop. I gotta get sober, and I can do it," in the whole 9 yards. And I told myself I could do it. So I stopped drinking, and I had Ativan. So I did an at-home detox, and the at-home detox was rough, to say the least. I did the at-home at-home detox, and I had to maintain working. So what I did was I would just take Ativan at night to help me go to sleep, when in reality I took the Ativan and laid in bed for hours and hours and hours until it was time to go to work the next day again. I got no sleep for 72 hours. This went on. For 72 hours, I went to work, came home, laid in bed, 3 days in a row. By the third night, I started hearing voices in my head. It got pretty intense. It was surreal. I thought I was legitimately losing my mind. I was losing it. But ultimately, I went to the hospital, and they admitted me because I was, going through severe withdrawals, and the at-home detox didn't work. They had to put me on an Ativan drip. They told me that I might not make it out alive. They said my organs were shutting down. I remember the doctor standing over me saying that my organs were shutting down. They need to put me on an Ativan drip. And he didn't know if I did any permanent damage or anything like that. But I think I slept for like 20 hours straight. And I woke up and I was confused, still drugged up kind of. I ended up leaving the hospital, and I swore up and down to my mother that I'm never drinking again. and to my girlfriend Lexi that I'm never drinking again. That was the final straw. That's what did it. While I was laying in the hospital bed, I came home. I was sober for 72 days, and I was drinking again. I thought 3 months was enough. I'm cured, and I thought I could drink like a normal person, like go to the bar and have a beer, and then that's it, and call it a day. Where that's not the case at all in my case. So it started on, I think, a Wednesday, and it started with 2 beers, and I drank the 2 beers, and then I went to bed. And I was like, great, I'm cured. I can just do this forever. And Thursday, it was 4 beers, and Friday, it was 4 beers and some rum. Saturday, more rum, no beers. And by Sunday, I was back to drinking a full handle again. So it really didn't work. I wasn't cured, I guess. And after that weekend, I hopped on a plane and I went to a treatment center in Miami, Florida. It sucked. I only agreed to it because I was hammered. It sucked. It sucked. Having to put everything on hold for a month. It's not a very long period of time, but it is. So I got down there, and thank God there was Orlando. The counselor's name is Orlando. Not Orlando, Florida. The treatment center was in Miami. So the counselor's name, Orlando, he's the best. I still talk to him to this day. We have, big future plans, private jets, the 9. So I went to HRC, Holistic Recovery Centers, and I gained the tools which I needed to survive in the real world, in basic everyday things, and not get hammered every day for no reason. But I picked up meditation while I was there, and that's been the key to my success. They had AA meetings and things of that nature. Once again, I'm not knocking AA whatsoever. AA is a fantastic tool that a lot of people use. It's just not for me. With AA, my great-grandfather was a sponsor. He, lives by AA. I still have his 12-step booklet in my wallet, his original. He since passed away. But so what I want to basically drive and inspire people with is I played the victim. Nobody's situation was worse than mine, and I had to give up football. The only reason my reason for being, but that's why people are losing in life in general, because they're playing the victim. Stop saying my situation is like the worst. Nobody has it worse than me. Fuck that, dude. Make your shit better. Do what you have to do. I've recently, when I started doing this, I've just had a more positive outlook on life in the past year. It's completely changed my life being sober. And I can't tell you how great it is to wake up in the morning and not be sick. It's amazing. It truly is. I could have been doing this a long time. But ultimately you have to be grateful for what you do have. So just figure out what you have in your life that some other people don't. Anything. Just find something to be grateful for and build on it. Use that as a foundation. Be thankful for your adversities. Be thankful for the things that you've overcome. I'm extremely grateful that I'm an alcoholic, and I overcame it, and I've been sober for a year. There was people that would tell me to my face that I wasn't going to live past 30, and I laughed at them and I said, I hope you're right, because I was crazy. Another thing with addiction is it affects not only you and your body and the way you live life, but it affects everyone around you. Parents, significant other, and you, by being an addict, you force them a really crappy hand, because they have to turn a blind eye in order to keep a sense of normalcy to what you're doing. So they kind of have to be like, oh, he's fine, or she's fine, everything's going to be okay. They're just, going through a phase or what have you, whatever excuse that they make up. What I also want to touch on is, a couple months went by, and I told you guys about the Josh walking in on my withdrawal story, and I told him to sit down and watch instead of leaving and, not paying attention to it, acting like it wasn't there. He was doing a report in school, and I asked him if I can share this with everybody, and he was doing a report, and it was on alcoholism or addiction in general, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. So he says, John, I'm doing this project about alcoholism, and I wanted to ask you what it feels like withdrawing. Like, does it feel like a dream or what? I won't use your name if you don't want me to. And then he goes on to say, I can't talk, I'm in school. Because I tried to call him. So I said, I went on and I said, he said, you don't have to answer my question if you don't want to. I said, I will, hang on. Because I got the text and I was busy, I was running around doing something, but as soon as I read the context of what the text message was, I knew I had to respond right away. So I went through and I said, all right, so the text is kind of jumbled, but I said, Josh, withdrawal feels like the fuzzy channel on your TV. Feels like there's a million bugs crawling all over your skin. It feels like you can't think straight. There's just a grenade going off at every moment. Your whole body hurts. There's no way around it, no medication you can take to make it easier. You're shaking like you're freezing, but you're sweating profusely, and there's nothing you can do about it. You start hearing voices in your head. You can't rationalize properly. It feels like you're going crazy. It feels like your whole body is quitting on you, and you have to and you can choose whether or not you want to fight through it or just give up. And I chose to fight through it. So I felt obligated to respond to him at that time. I really feel like I owed him that, because I was sober and I was able to think properly about how I affected his life. I mean, he's 6 years younger than me, so his life was definitely adversely affected by my drinking. You saw my parents make excuses for me and things like that, and it was just, that's the way that I am. That was the excuse, So ultimately, I want to help people. I've been through it. If you're having a hard time staying sober or, getting sober, I have tools and resources now that I can assist you. If you want to get in a program, let me know. I can help you with that. It doesn't have to be public. but you can beat it. You can beat it. So, to conclude this, I just want to go in and I want to thank everybody that helped me along the way. Lexi being number one. My girlfriend, she was there the whole time, start to finish. Coming and visiting me in the hospital, even though I was incapacitated, to say the least. My mother definitely stuck by the whole time. Big supporting aspect of my life. My father, who played a big part in helping me stay sober as well. My brother Josh, who I felt like I could teach him what not to do. My brother Jason, who has special needs. He has Asperger's. It's on the autism spectrum, but it's no big deal. Maybe I'll do a video about that in the future. And then finally, I want to thank Orlando from HRC, and also the entire HRC team, because they really gave me the tools to succeed outside of the treatment center. So I know this was like a, dull, like dreary vlog, but this is one that's serious, and it hits home for me because I went through it, and I know there's people out there that are going through it. And I just wanted to put this out, whether you're an addict or you know somebody that's an addict, that is beatable. And there are other people you can reach out to that know what you're going through, no matter what side of it you're on. If you're the addict or if you're a supporting member, there's people that have been through it. The internet's a great tool. Do some research, and you'll be able to make it through. Thanks, everybody. If you want to hear me, maybe next couple videos will be a little bit better. But if you want to keep getting more videos from me, subscribe to my channel. I think it'll be over there, down there, or over there. I don't know. Somewhere. Subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Give me a like. Comments. All of them. Give me all of the comments. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's, giving me constructive criticism. Also, people that like it, thanks for liking it. It's pretty cool. And stay tuned. John Axelrod, signing off.